Hello, my name is Thomas Gnuschke, and I will be reflecting on my experience as the incident commander during the chlorine tank leak that occurred at our facility on August 18th, 2022. This incident tested our emergency response protocols and my leadership capabilities in ways I hadn't anticipated. Today, I'll walk you through the chronology of events, the decisions I made, and the key learnings I took away from this experience. On August 18th, 2022, at approximately 12:30 p.m., I was informed by a member of our operations team that one of our large chlorine tanks used in water treatment had developed a significant leak. At that time, we had approximately 400 workers on site, and our facility is located at the western edge of a small town of about 3,500 residents. This timing and location presented unique challenges that required immediate attention. My first and foremost priority was ensuring the safety of all personnel on site. Given that it was midday, I knew most employees would be scattered throughout the facility, with many likely in the cafeteria or break areas for lunch. Some might even be enjoying the warm weather. I immediately activated our emergency response plan and ordered a site-wide evacuation alarm. I directed our emergency response team to set up a upon the uh, command post upwind of the leak. Considering the wind direction was easterly that day, fortunately blowing away from the town. Using our facility's PA system, I ordered all personnel to evacuate following our emergency evacuation routes to designated assembly areas located upwind of the facility. I ensured our security team was stationed at strategic points to direct personnel away from the hazardous areas. Simultaneously, I dispatched our hazmat team to the leak site with appropriate personal protective equipment to assess the situation and begin containment procedures. I ordered them to establish a hot zone around the leak and to prepare for possible emergency shutdown of adjacent operations. I immediately contacted local emergency services, activating our mutual aid agreements. This included notifying the local fire department, emergency medical services, and local law enforcement. I also contacted the local hospitals to ensure they were prepared for potential casualties with chemical exposure. Given the proximity to town, I made the decision to contact local authorities to initiate community warning systems and partial evacuation of the closest residential areas downwind of our facility as a precautionary measure. During this incident, I relied heavily on several key references to guide our response. First was our facility's emergency response plan, which outlined our protocols and chemical releases, evacuation procedures, and communication channels. I also refer to our chlorine-specific emergency response guide, which details the, the properties of chlorine, health hazards, appropriate PPE, and containment procedures. The NIOSH Pocket Guide to Chemical Hazards provided critical information on exposure limits and health effects, while the Emergency Response Guidebook gave us proper isolation distances and public protection measures. Additionally, I consulted our Incident Command System manual to ensure proper structure and protocols were followed throughout our response efforts. My main support team consisted of several key individuals. First was our safety manager, who served as my safety officer, ensuring all response activities prioritized personnel safety and proper protocols were followed. Our operations manager became my operations section chief, coordinating the activities of the hazmat team and organizing the shutdown of adjacent processes to prevent escalation. The maintenance supervisor served as our logistics section chief, ensuring our teams had the necessary equipment and resources for response. Our HR director became my liaison officer, managing communication with outside agencies and coordinating our response with local authorities. Finally, our security supervisor managed evacuation and site access, ensuring everyone was accounted for at assembly areas. To maximize their support, I employed several leadership skills. I practiced clear and concise communication, making sure directives were understood and followed. I delegated appropriate authorities while maintaining overall control of the situation. I remained calm and decisive, which helped maintain composure throughout the team during a high stress situation. I also made sure to solicit input from my team members about their respective areas of expertise, trusting their judgment while making final decisions. Regular briefings kept everyone informed about the evolving situation, and I made sure to acknowledge their efforts, which boosted morale during extended response operations. When the media arrived at our facility within minutes of the incident, I recognized the importance of managing information properly. I designated our public relations manager as the public information officer, establishing a media staging area away from both the incident site and community evacuation routes. I provided regular scheduled updates to ensure accurate information was disseminated while preventing rumors. During these briefings, I focused on facts rather than speculation, emphasizing the actions being taken to protect the community and maintaining transparency without causing undue alarm. I also coordinated our messaging with local authorities to ensure consistency in public communications, which helped maintain public trust during the incident. When pressured for immediate responses before we had complete information, I politely but firmly deferred, explaining that accurate information was more important than immediate answers. During this incident, I relied heavily on several key leadership strengths. First was my ability to make decisions under pressure, which was essential in the early stages when time was critical. Empathy was particularly important given that our site employs multiple family members from our small community. I recognized that emotions would be running high, especially with concerns about loved ones who might be affected. I instituted a family reunification process and assigned personnel specifically to address family concerns and provide accurate information about employees' status and safety. My experience in crisis management helped me anticipate potential escalation points and prepare contingency plans. For instance, when we discovered that the leak was larger than initially reported, we already had plans in place to expand evacuation zones if necessary. Communication skills were vital in ensuring that complex technical information was translated and actionable directives and comprehensible updates for various stakeholders, from technical teams to community members. I maintained visibility as a leader, regularly walking the perimeter of our command center, checking in with team leads, and demonstrating my commitment to resolving the situation safely. Finally, I practiced adaptive leadership, adjusting our response as new information became available and being willing to reevaluate decisions when conditions changed. This incident provided several valuable learnings that I've since incorporated into our emergency response framework. First, I recognized the need for more detailed pre-planning for chemical releases that could affect our neighboring community, including more regular coordination with local emergency services. Second, I I identified gaps in our communication systems, particularly in reaching employees who were in areas not covered by our PA system. We've since implemented a multi-layer notification system, including text alerts. Third, I learned the importance of regular, realistic drills that simulate various aspects of emergency response, including media management and, and family communications. Finally, this experience reinforced my belief in the importance of building a strong leadership team with clear roles and responsibilities so that during a crisis, we can act as a cohesive unit rather than relying solely on individual decision making. The chlorine leak incident presented significant changes or challenges to our facility and community, but through proper preparation, clear decision making, and effective leadership, we were able to manage the situation without fatalities or serious injuries. The experience has strengthened our emergency response capabilities and reinforced the importance of leadership during crisis situations. I'm grateful for the support and dedication of our entire team, whose professionalism and commitment were essential to our successful response. Thank you for your attention to my reflection on this incident. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.